And welcome back to Good Day Las Vegas. Metro Sheriff Joe Lombardo is joining us this morning for our Morning Cup of Joe segment. Hi, Sheriff. Good to see you.
So let's talk about an issue we've actually talked about before here on the show, about road rage. We've seen it before. In fact, there's a recent case, a murder case that's going on right now in the Valley. How should drivers deal with aggressive drivers with issues of road rage when they're out on the roads?
Well, let me address that statement you said about the previous case that I heard. So we do have some individuals in custody, I'm proud to say. It's been a pretty robust investigation, and with the help of the public and technology and everything else you can imagine, what we do is we were able to get a couple people in custody. So the road rage in particular, the best, probably the best way I can say this is avoid it. Yeah. Quite often people's emotions get in the way, so an individual cuts you off, or they short stop you, or you're just verbally upset because of what's going on in your lives, and you exchange improper gestures, things like that. The best thing to do is be the best witness you can, identify a type of vehicle, the plate, the registration, numbers off the plate if you can, and stay away from it, because if you de-escalate, well, we try to teach even our police officers, usually have a better result. So avoid it the best you can. Don't engage. If you have the opportunity to call 911, and what happens is, yeah, you're traveling on the freeway. We may not be around in the vicinity. We wouldn't have the opportunity to engage this individual, but we record that information, so that plate is identified as an individual that was involved in the incident. So if we encounter them later or observe them later, we have the ability to address the issue.
Okay, so you recommend, if you can, report it, aggressive drivers, to either NHP or to Metro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Sheriff, what do you do if you see another driver in their car with a firearm? What's the best thing to do in that case?
It's the same story, especially with a firearm. Absolutely do not want you to engage that individual, because it's not that important as far as I'm concerned, as far if it's a traffic issue or not. But if they have a firearm, report that 911, absolutely. On one end, if it's just a road rage, you're like, I don't have time, I just want to get to work. On the other end, person's possession of a firearm, absolutely do us a favor, do the rest of the community a favor, and call it in.
We talked about the case involving that van and the arrests that have already taken place earlier, but is road rage broadly something that Metro officers have to deal with on a regular basis? Does it come up frequently? No,
it doesn't. If you remember, it's probably been a decade. Road rage used to be a real commonality across the freeway system and the local roads, but we tend to have gotten away from that. I mean, because the technology helps us identify the individuals, so people are in fear of that. But this is a more recent event. Yeah. I would not say it's a common event.
Okay. Well, Metro Sheriff Joe Lombardo, thank you once again for joining us this morning. If you have a question for the sheriff, you can go to 8newsnow.com, look for the Morning Cup of Joe link, and leave your question. Find out if it's answered every Wednesday.